Let's move on to something that maybe some people, these guys might not watch. But let's move on to a fight of the night. McGregor Poirier. You didn't watch it?
I didn't see it.
But
I heard about it. I read about it. Look, I cared about it. I watched the hype about it, and I've learned some things about it that really I don't like about McGregor.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, here's the thing about McGregor. McGregor's rise to stardom was based on a bunch of him talking shit, backing it up. Period. Talk mad shit.
Always.
Back it up.
That's every fighter. That's every fighter.
It's not every fighter.
Yeah.
No, it is not.
You go
I've
back
watched
in history.
UFC for a long time.
Okay.
Not every fighter talks bad shit. Some of them just go in there and back it up. They don't talk any shit.
I'm
They're just
talking
nice
about
humble
in
people.
history fighters.
Nope.
Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, the guys who you remember through history. I'm not talking about, look, are there exceptions to the rule?
Definitely.
Yeah. But in terms of the people who you know by name, and not the people that follow the sport, I get it. You know a lot about the sport. You follow the sport. There's guys out there you know you have respect for. They're blah, blah, blah. I get it. But for the average person, I guarantee you can bring up Muhammad Ali.
Man,
You can bring up Mike Tyson.
Talking about Conor McGregor, baby.
Right. But I'm saying, but Conor, McGregor is a household name because he talks a lot of shit, and people want to see him get taken down. Either people want to do one or two things: they either want to see him back it up, or they want to see him taken down a notch.
My thoughts going into the fight was Conor was going to lose. Conor was going to lose because Dustin has been active for the entire time. People give Dustin Poirier, they don't give enough credit that he's a lightweight who's 111. He's like 11-2 in the lightweight division. Conor's run one fight in lightweight. Conor fights at 170. He came down to 155. He came back and look, Conor looked good at the start of the fight. He came out. He was his trash talking was mediocre at best through the press conference. It wasn't great.
He was talking shit about the guy's wife.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Is that true? Was his wife?
Who the fuck knows? Who cares? Dustin doesn't care at all. I promise you that. There is something that Conor said that made Dustin so angry that they will fight again, whether it's in the octagon or in the street. Something he said. But yeah, so they went out there. Look, Conor looked strong in the beginning, but Dustin looked way stronger. He looked way more focused. He was a different Dustin Poirier. The dude's out there.
What's the age
difference? They're about the same age. I think they're both 32 or 33. Right. They're about the same age fighters. Dustin just was, Dustin has a different end game than Conor McGregor.
Well,
Conor McGregor's already been there.
Conor McGregor is, I'm going to guess, got, I know, at least hundreds of millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah, probably $200 million.
And that's after burning through probably a lot of it.
Oh, yeah.
The other dude, who I don't know as well.
He's probably got a couple $1 million.
Right. And it's a lot easier to train when you're trying to get there than when you're already there.
No, it's true.
Rocky 3.
Yeah.
Rocky
so we looked
3.
at the fight, and look, Dustin he came out, he had a plan, he was sticking to it. And the fight ended with controversy to an extent. Conor broke his tibia. And Dustin said,
doing what was
so here's the thing. When he stepped backwards, and it was just the weirdest step. I bet I can find a video of it. It was he just stepped backwards, and it was like his foot was no longer attached to his leg, and it looked like if you were to take your ankle and just cut your ankle off and stick your leg into the mat and have your foot behind it. That's what it looked like. It was wild to watch. And but in the fight, after when he talked to Dustin was like, he goes, I checked a kick, and I knew that something went wrong. Like he kicked him, and Dustin was like, that's not okay. And he pointed to his foot, and he looked at it. And he said, pretty much that's fucked in the fight. And we didn't catch it in real time, but when you play back the replay, you saw him. He leg kicked him, and he kicked it like kind of. Conor's foot kind of hit him in the knee. And Dustin checked it, and then he looked at him, he pointed, and he smiled, and they went around, and they were on the ground for a while, and it was literally like 4 seconds left in the first round. And Conor threw a kick, he stepped backwards on that foot, and it just folded.
Right.
And it was like, when they played it in slow motion, you were like, holy fuck, it folded up. And I'll give Conor this, dude. He hit the ground. They ding the round. Dustin walked over the corner. The corner man told Dustin, and Dustin goes, that fight's over. He didn't even see the foot. And the corner goes, that fight's done. His ankle's broken or something. Conor's laying there. No one's pointing out the fact that his foot is just fucking dangling off his body. He's laying up against the cage, sitting up. He's saying his foot's broken. It's broken. It's done. But then he's also yelling, stoppage. Stoppage. Because in the UFC, if there's a medical stoppage before the halfway mark of the fight, there is no contested winner of the fight. So Dustin will not get a victory. But when they did the arm raise, yeah, right, which is interesting to me because per UFC's usual rules, Dustin wouldn't get a TKO win. It'd be a no contest because it's medical stoppage. But they gave him a TKO win over Conor in the first round, which DraftKings is paying out at 260 to 1 odds for either fighter knockout first round. So I wonder if they actually paid that out. But Dustin said, they went to the post-press conference, and he said, they're definitely going to fight again. Conor's going to have at least 8 months out on rehab and recovery from that injury. And he said, are you going to fight him again? He goes, I'm definitely going to fight him, whether it's in the octagon or in the street, because Conor said to Dustin, I am going to kill that man. I am going to kill him in the ring. I will murder that man. And Dustin said, you can say shit about my wife, say shit about my family, but if you say you are going to kill me, we both want to leave here. We both come in here to fight, and we both want to leave here alive, and you tell somebody you're going to kill him, we got unfinished business. And I will find you, whether it's in here or in the street, and we will finish this. So it was interesting. That was what it was. He took to heart the fact that he said, nah, we ain't doing that. But he's a bad motherfucker. Dustin Poirier is a bad bitch. And I'll give Conor this, man. He was screaming in pain. And then he was sitting in the octagon, and they had his foot fucking, they put an old splint thing and carried him out of there. And that's a tough son of a bitch, because his foot was fucking jacked up. But I'll tell you this, if you didn't watch, that was a great fight. Prior to that, first fight of the night, Sean O'Malley and this kid whose first fight in the UFC, his name was Chris Matino. First fight, 11 days notice, he's a replacement fighter. This kid comes in to fight Sean O'Malley, who's 14-1 in UFC. This kid had 0 UFC fights under his belt. Took 3 rounds and up to fucking 30 seconds left of the fucking worst beating we've seen in the UFC in a long time. He took over 280 strikes to the face. He was beaten up so bad, and he just kept pressing Sean O'Malley. And they were like, dude, he will not stop. He was like a zombie. The kid looked like a fucking zombie coming at Sugar Sean O'Malley. And 30 seconds left, Herb D went in there and waved it off and said, done. And everyone was mad. They were all like, yeah, it's not boxing, it's UFC, Clara. We just got to touch on this when we move on. But they were mad because they should let him finish. That dude took he took such a beating, dude. But it was wild to watch. He's a tough son of a bitch. But I think, moving forward, Conor, he might come back and fight Dustin. Outside of that, he's done. Donezo.
Yeah, I used to be a borderline fan. I used to support him. I certainly wanted to see him beat Mayweather. I've always rooted against anybody against Mayweather.
Good come-up story.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. I like that. But I feel like, to me, and even if it's true or it's not true or whatever, man, leave my family out of it. If we're in the pre-hype stage, we're getting ready to fight, whatever. I don't have a wife, but if somebody talks shit about my son, and somebody was to say something about my son, I would use whatever. You know what's weird? Today I was at the gym, and a guy came up to me randomly. Speaking of fighting, real quick, before we go to another topic, I'm at the gym. I shadow box. I don't do what you do. I don't grapple with people. I do. A guy came up to me at the gym today, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm an old martial artist. I like to swing and hit and have a target. I don't ever have one. Do you think that I could do like 2-minute around with you where I just swing at you and you defend yourself?" Right. And I was like, "So you want me to be the heavy bag?" I was like, "All right, I'll do it."
I was laughing because that kid, they go, "Oh man, he had the Sugar Sean had 86% strike rate," and I was like, I would honestly say that he blocked 86% of the punches with his face. I would say he blocked 285 punches with his face. Pretty
For
impressive.
some people, I know that for me, I've been in a lot of fights. I had a handful of professional fights, and I've been in a lot of fights. I started fighting when I was young, not because I ever wanted to. I never picked a fight with anybody. But I will say this. The one thing that I know about fighting, the good thing that and I love this about fighting is most people cannot do it for very long.
No.
So if you can absorb some shots and stay up, whatever they have, whoever the person is, however big they are, however strong they are, no matter what they're doing, if you can absorb some blows and stay ready, you can sense at some point that the other person is about to be done with their energy.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to fight somebody who can't fight back.
That's true.
And so my strategy has always been, no matter who I'm fighting, even when that dude went up to me the other day.
Hey, quiet.
Stop it.
Yeah,
That's
just
always
outlast
been.
them, man. That's all it takes.
Just outlast the person, and when they're done, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about still Fauci.